And we are live. Good evening, viewers. Tonight we're going to be talking about the most pressing issues of the day. The issues that are ailing, pressing upon our backs, weighing down heavy on us, giving us cancer, giving us back problems on a daily basis. And we're going to be explaining these. We're going to be explaining these topics to you, like a teacher to a child, in many ways. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, we're going to be talking about veganism and
soy, the cure to world hunger.
And yeah, estrogen and how you need to pump a lot of estrogen into your body in order to be a real human.
Soy, and all boys need to eat bugs.
You need to eat bugs. You need to get a nose job and get plastic surgery and pump some estrogen into your fucking boobs, man. Because if you're not doing that, you're not a real man. You're not you're toxic masculinity. I think that's what these guys are really trying to tell us.
Hey, vegans out there, that's a lot of fur.
Look at all that fur right there. I mean, and that's what that's the main topic of the evening is the abuse of animals.
Where does all that fur come from?
Where does all the fur come from, right? And animals deserve a voice too, and we're the voice. You know, we have brains. Animals don't technically have brains, so
It's gotta be at least 300 cats.
that's a lot of cats. Are those literal cats? I wonder. You know, just wrapped around their heads. You know. Okay, he's opening the box. What's in the box? Are we gonna find out what's in the box? Look at how many Jews they fit into that fucking building right there. How many, what do we call these guys again?
Leaps.
Sleeps. Okay. Yeah, so that's,
Those fucking whites again, man.
those darn whites. But, we're gonna watch a little video. Oh wow, that's crazy that we stopped it at that number. What the fuck? But anyway, we're gonna get into this video here, showing you how animals are really just vegans in the end. And we need to like kind of take a lesson from the chimps.
Restart it, bro.
What do you think about it? Should we restart from the video?
Yeah, dude. We had some good cinematic shots.
Okay.
I need the backstory.
I should probably turn down the volume on the TV actually.
Alright, I can just do this.
The patrol is silent. Occasionally stopping to listen. Signs of the enemy are detected and examined closely.
Kind of feel bad for him though. Like imagine all those bugs out there.
Yeah.
They're just swarming him.
At the edge of the territory. All need to be on maximum alert.
I suppose that's what the thick fur's for.
They patiently wait and listen.
Oh shit.
Look at the guy's face.
Oh, that one got fucked.
He's a nice guy.
An unfamiliar chimp call raises attention.
Unfamiliar chimp call. Welcome
Should I unmute?
Not far away, the neighbors are feeding.
I don't know, just see.
Yeah. Is the audio alright, chat? Is it echoing? Please tell us. It's going to be a marathon stream.
Yeah, that seems fine.
Marathon stream, we're staying up for 4 days straight. Let's just say that. And, you know, we'll shoot for the stars and try to hit them, kind of thing.
To intimidate their opponents, the aggressors scream and drum on buttcheecks.
They are getting worked up, that's for sure.
If I remember correctly, this is the one that gets booted.
Several males corner an enemy female. It's a ferocious attack, and she's lucky to escape alive.
I checked it, it's actually not bad.
Yeah, cool.
Others are not so fortunate.
Uh-oh. Others are not so fortunate. Those left behind.
A grisly scene
Fuck.
unfolds.
Oh, these aren't zombies. Oh my god.
Dude, that's pretty vegan.
Chimps don't do that. Chimps are like, Jesus. Whoa, that is somebody's face. That is a chimp's face.
Eating brains.
You're literally eating, straight up eating that other chimp. Wow.
Like, oh, that one's tasty.
Oh, look at how large those balls are, dude. Compared to that Winky Dink. Are you kidding me?
Black.com.
Okay, so that was, yeah, Black.com. that was,
It was
terrifying.
a joke, YouTube.
That was bone chilling. Okay. So this one,
You know,
obviously,
it's not gonna happen twice.
this one is going to kind of revitalize meaning back into our lives. This one's going to help us realize that animals love each other.
Animals are vegan, okay?
Animals are vegan. They
I
love each
know
other. They just care for each other, and they're not going to eat each other, dude, because there's like a love bond between animals, you know, that goes beyond hunger.
Oh, fuck, we need the subtitles.
If you can't see, chat, these birds are fucking attacking this deer's face.
Tell us how the audio is, Chip.
He's got a bird on the ground, Michael.
got a bird.
There's a bird on the ground. It's hurt. Yeah, he's picking at it. That's why they're beating him up.
Oh my
He's
god.
got it in his mouth.
She's just
He's got
telling
a
him
bird
how
in
it
his
is.
mouth.
He's like not even paying attention. He's like reading
Oh
the
my
fucking
goodness, he ate
newspaper.
a bird?
Oh, it ate a bird,
Michael,
huh?
he ate a bird.
Oh, the deer ate a bird. Yeah, Karen. Okay.
Did you
Yep.
see that?
He loves
Oh, my
it.
word. They're really gonna beat him up.
He is munching on that bird. He's no brakes on that deer. Fucking munching away. Wow.
Oh shit, dude, this might actually just become like an animal, fucking weird ass animal.
Animal cannibal stream. Oh man, we gotta justify veganism by the end of the stream though. Oh man, what is this? Oh, but even squirrels are cannibals, are carnivores. That's crazy, man.
And they eat it head first because the brain actually has the most nutrients.
That makes sense.
I mean, you can get a lot of fucking.
You're not gonna eat
from
an ass.
eating brains.
You're not gonna eat an ass first. That's for sure.
Some animals do that. Hyenas
Really?
do that. Yeah.
That's fucked. The hyenas are fucked, man.
And he's loving it.
Oh, there's the intestines.
Oh.
He's like, nope. I'll eat around it.
Man, this is fucking.
Ooh.
Oh man, this is brutal.
Now he's pulling it out. He's like, nope. That is shit. Like burying it.
I wonder how many vegans are gonna watch this and be like, "What the fuck?"
Scarred for life. Oh, that's terrible. Well, that was informative, and yeah.
You should pause it because it's gonna autoplay. Fucking
hell
cat hair.
Yeah. Do you want to take over? I'll give you that.
Let's go into the fucking PETA stuff here. So, let's see here. Yeah, so this Peter Singer guy, he's an Australian moral philosopher and professor of bioethics. let's see here. We'll go into his statement. What is this?
Oh, huh.
What is that?
Singer's parents were Austrian Jews. What does that mean? What does Jews mean?
Jews.
Jews. What are Jews?
He immigrated to Austria from Vienna in 1939.
So like the Germans kicked them out.
Oh, look at that! Yeah, he's fleeing Nazi Germany. Oh, look at that.
Settled in Melbourne. Okay. Wonder why the Germans kicked him out. I mean,
His
I guess
maternal
probably because
grandfather,
they were Jewish, right?
David Ernst Oppenheim, a teacher, died in a concentration camp. Oh, he's an atheist.
Makes sense, I guess. Yeah.
I want to see if I can find it on here, though. It has to go into it. But this guy's like an author of like some of the most famous like vegan propaganda like books and shit. I might have to go to this other one here. Fuck, that's hard to read. Oh yeah, so he was asked about the morality of necrophilia, having sexual relations with a corpse. There are no moral problems with that. What about bestiality? It is morally acceptable to have sex with animals so long as they seem willing to do so.
As long as they seem willing to do so? Okay. Anybody watching this, can you please tell us how do you determine consent from an animal? How does a fucking how do you get the green light from an animal to stick a red rocket into its poop chute? You know what I'm saying? I know we gotta use coded terms here, but you know what I'm saying. How do you diplomatically manipulate an animal? How do you get consent from an animal, right? When is it okay? When does the animal agree with it, right? I think the answer is never, unless it's like maybe like I don't even know, like maybe a male animal from another species who's like dominating you because it sees you as weak and like beta to it, basically inferior to it. You're like a inferior life form. But other than that, I mean, I can't see like why anybody would have sex with animals.
That's pretty fucked
Unless they were inferior, an inferior life form. But I don't know. I guess it's not the best case for it. It's just I guess it gets me kind of heated. Like it gets me, it like clouds my mind almost. Like even thinking about it, it's like.
His answer: I would ask what's holding you back from having a fulfilling relationship, but it's not inherently in a moral sense. Or it's not wrong inherently in a moral sense. Fucking hard to see from here.
Look at this guy's face, man. Gross. Looks like he ran into a brick wall at 90 miles an hour.
Look at that. He's also in favor of abortion. So, it's wrong to kill, animals, but human beings, yeah, that's fine. Oh, I wonder what Wikipedia thinks about, or not Wikipedia, PETA thinks about him. Pretty sure this Wikipedia article has, I know it has something on it. Oh, that goes into his fucking shit on abortion. Unless they're just like protecting their own. damn it. PETA's statement on bestiality. Consensual sex between two human beings who enter into it willingly, and that is never the case when an animal is dominated by a human. Having sex with an animal is raping that animal, something PETA has found in numerous eyewitness exposes of factory farms and slaughterhouses. But if you look, fuck, I don't think I have it up here. Ingrid Newkirk. Let's just do a little
Searchy dude.
I'm gonna see if Joe's in the top.
You should.
Open the cupboard on the left.
Where is it? Man, this pisses me off. I can't find it. Is it in here? Let's go on this. Here, start going through that. I'm just gonna look through my notes.
Alright. Proof PETA kills. The Virginia Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services, VDACS, requires all animal shelters to report the number of cats and dogs they take in each year. The records indicate how many cats and dogs were reclaimed by their owners, adopted out, transferred to other Virginia releasing agencies, i.e. animal shelters, and animal control transferred to out-of-state releasing agencies, died of natural causes, euthanized, killed, and how many the shelter held alive at the end of the calendar year. We added the dogs and cats euthanized and divided by the total number of dogs and cats taken in, excluding those held only for sterilization surgery, to determine the percentage of dogs and cats PETA killed in a given year. In 2009, Virginia modified its policy and eliminated animals held for sterilization from the records. We obtained the reports by filing public record requests under Virginia's Sunshine Laws with the Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services. The information for years 2004 to 2010 is also available on the VDAC's website for public inspection. Animals classified as other from 2004 to 2009 include those reported by PETA as held for sterilization. Oh boy. Wow. So, yeah, it looks like year by year,
They kill more animals.
yeah, they
So,
killed, like,
This is
in
from
some cases, like 97%.
This is from Sun News. In 2010, the state of Virginia did a surprise inspection of PETA's animal shelters and found they didn't even have rooms to house the animals, and instead were straight up euthanizing them. It was concluded that fewer than 15% survived more than 24 hours. And this comes from the Virginia Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services. They found that they euthanized more than 5,823 pets in 2014. And then in 2012, they found that PETA had killed 90% of their animals in one shelter, nearly 1,600 animals. That comes from Wavy News 10.
It's like they're just taking them in and killing them. Like, you might as well just leave them. You might as well just leave them alone. Like, if you're just gonna like pretend to take care of them.
And get this,
and then kill them.
In 2012, they only adopted out 25 animals.
Jesus Christ, 12?
25.
25. Okay.
But
Well,
that's
it looks like
nothing compared to the amount that they've killed.
Looks like in 2008 they only adopted out 7, and in total they've only adopted out 3,459, and they've killed almost 40,000. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I found the thing that I was looking for here. It was on my phone. So Peter Singer
whose opposition to speciesism made him the father of the modern animal rights movement, once again is in the thick of controversy. Readers may remember Singer because published Steve Forbes withdrew financial support from Princeton when the university gave Singer an ethics professorship. Singer, you see, advocates killing disabled babies because babies are not yet persons.
Well, I mean,
Wait, it goes on here.
Killing
Now
disabled-
Singer has written an online book. Fucking come, got phone work.
I mean, it depends. Are you gonna leave the baby? Are you gonna throw it off the mountain, or are you just gonna leave it on the mountain? Right? You wanna give the baby, the disabled baby, a merciful send off, right? A quick and painless ending. So just like the Spartans, they wouldn't starve to have this. I don't know. Maybe they left it out for the wolves. I wouldn't think so. But maybe, to like maybe discourage the gods from like sending them further mutations.
Listen to this shit. Now Singer has written an online book review for a pornographic website in which he defends bestiality. You could say Singer's take on animal rights is you can have sex with them, but don't eat them.
Okay. So kind of like the Muslims' view on little boys.
And here we go. How does PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, feel about its ideological father endorsing six-legged sex? PETA President Ingrid Newkirk said of the piece, "It's daring and honest, and it does not do what some people read into it, which is condone any violent acts involving an animal, sexual or otherwise." Newkirk wants America to know that Singer does not advocate sex that kills or damages animals or requires them to be restrained. Indeed, Singer condemns sex between men and hens because it usually is fatal to the hen. But can an animal consent to sex?
No, this guy's crazy. This guy should be fucking, what do you call it? Drugged out in the street and shot in the head. I mean, I'm not saying anybody.
In Minecraft.
I'm not saying I'm gonna do this or anybody specifically should do this at any time.
Only in Minecraft.
Specifically, at any specific area or location. I'm not saying anybody should do that. Okay, I'm not like inciting violence. Right?
Politically speaking.
Politically speaking, in a self-defense situation, let's just say that, or like, you would have to like shoot him in the head or something. To
Here we
stop
go.
killing him.
Newkirk answered, "It sounds like this is an attempt to make this so narrow and so unintellectual in its focus. Peter Singer is an intellectual, and he looks at all nuances of an issue." And the whole concept of consent with animals is very different.
He's omniscient and he's also unique, I think is what they're saying. I think he's omnipotent. Sorry for adjusting my package on camera there. I'm going to point that out. But I think he's omniscient and he's omnipotent and he just cares for the animals. He cares for the kitties and the doggos and wants to have a nice comfy home for them. I just think you don't care about them, Chad. If you think that people shouldn't be able to doink their dogs in the ding dong or give their cats a quick double fisting, I think you're the bigot and you need to check your privilege, Chad, and go home. And I gotta stop yelling, but see, it just works
In
me
his
up.
1979 book, Practical Ethics, Singer wrote, "Because people are human does not mean that their lives are more valuable than animals. He has argued that it is more ethical to conduct medical experiments on comatose people than primates."
Oh my god, dude, what the fuck? Imagine waking up from a coma and this guy's like whacking you off. Like, oh, shit. Oh, it's an experiment. It's an experiment. I mean, you're considered an animal, less than an animal at this point, right? Because you're in a coma. You're in a coma, so you're less than an animal at this point. Is this guy's reasoning. So imagine like being in a coma and just waking up and suddenly you're like a completely different gender, or you have like a cybernetic enhancement that like makes you shit your pants every 10 minutes.
He supports the woman's right to choose, as an advocate of like fucking killing babies no matter,
Our goal is to get banned this stream. And we're gonna move to D Live. We're gonna go to BitChute, and we're gonna get comfy. We're gonna get cozy. We're gonna have a fun time. And hey, maybe YouTube will become a place where people can make money and spread ideas and have fun again and laugh. But you know what? I think it's going towards kind of like the long march of the institutions. I think that's coming to an end on YouTube, and they've largely taken over every suggested videos like CBS or CNN or fucking Joe Rogan or Jordan Peterson or some shit. And yeah, man, it's just totally declining. So I think unless they really flip the fucking dollar on us, then
I think just everyone needs to start eating soy.
Yeah, dude, fucking soybeans, soy food, soy fish.
I love how it mimics estrogen in your body. The hormone that dictates a lot of shit for women, like causes brittle bones in men and fucking man titties. But
your dick should be going like this,
That's why you shouldn't
straight up
drink-
into your body.
That's why you shouldn't drink milk.
Until it's like a inside. That's what. Okay. Because otherwise, I mean, if you got a big swanging, bucko on you, all right, and with some like big juicy balls that just create a lot of
Big tasty.
virile
juice balls.
babies, baby making shit. That's not good for the neo-Marxist agenda. Okay, we need to basically drive everybody into being feminized, docile, and very kind of like what is it, marmosets or what do they call them? This kind of monkey that the LGBT
I know the
movement
word.
kind of.
I can think of the word.
Yeah, it's like
That
the
kind of monkey.
yeah, like the trans monkeys, right? The kind of pansexual monkeys.
you know how vegans always claim like the rainforest is being cleared because of like fucking the lumber industry and shit like that. It's like, no, it's literally being cleared for fucking soybean farms.
Whoa.
And the thing with like soybean farms is you can only grow it on like a piece of land for a set amount of time, and then you need to buy new land.
These motherfucking soy boy faggots are destroying the rainforest. Even though, you should eat soy and it's good for you. You gotta eat bugs. Guys, honestly,
Just
like
start
I was
eating
thinking,
bugs,
I'm
man.
thinking like bugs, right?
Yeah, dude.
And like just
You got some spiders in your house, just start munching down.
Get some nets, okay? Get some bug traps. Those
We just
fly
need
tape.
to completely forestize. Is that word?
Yeah.
Forestize.
Forestate.
Forestate. Forestatize. We need to
Forestatize?
Forestatize.
Yeah.
Forestatize. No, but we need to cover
Forestry.
every plain area with forest. Plant all the trees we can.
Did you know that livestock only
We'll have
contributes to
cities
3%
and
of
forests.
greenhouse gases?
What?
Livestock only contributes to 3% of greenhouse gases.
So I guess all the lies. I mean, I guess all
At
of
least
the
in America.
all of the science that we've been told about the cows, farts, causing tsunamis in fucking Japan are fake.
And like the
They're
Maasai people of southern Kenya only eat meat, milk, and blood, and they've been found to have no risk of cardiovascular problems.
Meat, milk, and blood
Yep.
exclusively, and
Yeah.
no heart problems.
You
Yeah.
can fart.
What is this?
You can fart on a butterfly, and it's not going to kill a whole population across the world.
No.
It's crazy. I think
Oh.
I hear a Joe.
And when you don't eat meat, like what are you primarily consuming? Oh, carbohydrates. There's been a decline of meat consumption by like 28%, I believe it was, since I think it was like 1974, something like that.
They basically want us to be fucking
And like
fat.
a rise on carbohydrates, and then it's like pretty much directly linked. Like you can make a correlation between the rise in carbs and obesity. And
Wants to be
they've
fat.
done studies too, and it is showed that unsaturated fat isn't even bad for you. So that
Yep.
entire thing was a lie, made
Animal
up by
fat
the
is-
sugar industry.
Dude, animal fat's great. It doesn't even really make
Yeah,
you
it's saturated
fat.
fat.
Like, it doesn't make you look bad.
Saturated fat isn't even bad for you though.
Yeah.
They've done studies on it.
Makes you look good. It's good for you.
It was literally
Well,
the
it
fucking.
depends on the kind of fat. Where what the fat is coming from too.
Well, yeah, I mean, like a lot of it, but a lot of the
'Cause, like I'm sure there
issues
are good
with
and
like
bad.
weight and shit. Like, I mean, they've done studies and shows like butter is even fine for you. Like, it doesn't even.
Yeah,
fucking...
if you ate potatoes and butter, you could get all the nutrients to sustain you through life. Just eating potatoes and butter. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, well,
Potatoes is starch, but it's like
Potatoes
one
and
of the
butter.
good carbohydrates
Yeah.
for you, and it's got a lot of vitamins in it. But you have to eat the peels, because if you just eat the like starch itself,
I
that's
feel
pretty
like the
much just
peels
empty.
probably have the best nutrients. Like,
Yeah, that's what has all the vitamins in it.
so let's see.
potatoes and butter. You
Should
can
we
literally survive
keep
on
going
that.
on this? Potatoes and butter.
It has all the nutrients you need.
Yeah. There we go. Chad, potatoes and butter. We just got in the best. Should we keep going?
We
on
don't
the,
got much of a chat right now. But
You hear me, Irish folks?
Should we keep going on this, or should we go to the technology stuff?
it's up to you.
Yeah, you can bump over here and then we can go to the opium stuff. But,
I hear a Joe.
all right. This is a fucking topic that I feel like everybody needs to talk about all across the world. Everybody needs to know about this thing, because if you don't, you're not a patriot, and you hate yourself and your family, and you should just kill yourself. All jokes, obviously, all jokes, and this is not a child-friendly show. Israel's Operation Talpiot, the greatest spy machine of all time. Operation Talpiot is the backdoor data pipeline from your computer or cell phone to Israel. Everything you communicate electronically is stored and analyzed by Israel. This includes all computers, business, and military, as well as the power grids in all countries.
I love Jews.
I love Jews. In addition, the Bolshevik Israelis, Russians are stealing American technology. Please download and distribute this flyer offline. Man, cool. Alright. I'm fucking downloading that shit. Cool. Everything you communicate electronically is stored and analyzed by Israel. In addition, the Bolshevik Israeli Russians are stealing American technology. A tiny ARC processor is sitting within the Intel CPU with its own custom version of the Linux operating beyond the software level. Yeah, I've been saying this for years. Completely transparent to the end user. It does not matter if you're using Windows, Linux, for Apple, iOS. You are toast, and this is how Israel does it. And the only reason I've been saying this for years is because Brendan O'Connell has been saying it for years, and I heard it straight from that fucking Australians.
No.
I heard
Fucking
it straight from that fucking
AMD's
Australian-
compromised too?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's all part of the Talpiot program. No one is safe. No one. AMD has the exact same system, platform security system, and that is how totally owned and run by China. The entire world's cloud-based internet system is backdoored by Israel. This is a national security disaster. They have kill-switched the world's infrastructure. Learn more at opdeepstate.com and by following the work of Brendan O'Connell on YouTube and Vimeo. Well, unfortunately, I think Brendan O'Connell is no longer on YouTube and Vimeo, but you can definitely find re-uploads of his work, and I suggest you do that, because if you're not, you're wasting time. Yeah, so definitely check that out. You're probably not going to agree with him on everything, obviously. I don't, but, you know, when do you ever agree with anybody on everything, I suppose, so. Let's see. Watch this video on BitChute, Talpiot, Soviet Israel, and the Perestroika deception. Perestroika deception is actually something that Bill Cooper was talking about a long time ago. Basically, the faked death of the Soviet Union, the faked death of the Bolshevik movement, so that they could infiltrate the Western world and someday surface. This is where the idea of sleeper cells came from, and Russian sleeper agents. Let's see.
Netanyahu.
Quote, Netanyahu can get away with murder because Israel controls the world's high technology sector, over and above even the U.S. That American you see controlling something, he or she is an American, Jew, or Zionist, dual national, Israeli-American citizen. Israel rules until we target specifically this control of the high technology sector, and specifically the Talpiot program. We will all continue to wonder how Israel gets away with it, with all it does. It is a racist state of the most odious kind, but who will stand up to them? From medical nanotechnology to cybersecurity to private hacking companies to military technology to police databases, banking, finance, and medical, Israel runs them all. Bibi's got a kill switch. No one is safe. How Israel hardware backdoored everything. These are all like videos I think that Brennan O'Connell did. But the Intel Management System, or the Israel Management System, a tiny ARC processor sitting within the Intel CPU with its own custom version of Linux Minix operating beyond the software level, completely transparent to the end user. Does not matter if you are using Windows, Linux, or Apple iOS, you are toast, blah blah blah. We've already read this.
Well, our thing is like right in the center.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I don't know why.
Oh yeah, because the article is like, I'll switch over here. Okay. There we go. I've been jailed, beaten, bashed, vilified, and threatened with the dreaded woodshed by Rai Dashin, but I'm still here, and so are you. I've been greeted by high-level players. Everyone hates Israel. Everyone. They just have the key staff and key positions bribed and blackmailed. They have kill-switched the world's infrastructure. This is why Netanyahu is so cocky and why we never seem to get anywhere. Quote by Brendan O'Connell. Unit 8200, Israel Cyber Warfare Unit, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Yahida Simone Matayim is an Israeli intelligence corps unit responsible for collecting signal intelligence, SIGINT, and code decryption. It also appears in military publications as the central collection unit of the Intelligence Corps and is sometimes referred to as Israeli SIGINT National Unit, ISNU. The history and impact of Unit 8200 on Israeli high-tech, the attitude of these early Zionists still exists in modern Israeli society, and the nation's beginnings have had a lasting impact on the nation's culture. Unit 8200 and its precursors embodied this spirit, which continues to drive innovation and has turned Israel into one of the most technologically advanced countries in the world. Unit 8200 began as a collection of pre-independence intelligence and signals gathering groups that honed their technological skills on British and Arab adversaries. After independence in 1948, the Israeli military, now called the IDF, set up an electronic warfare unit in a green villa that was formerly inhabited by an Arab sheikh in the old port town of Jaffa, just south of Tel Aviv. The group was given the codename Rabbit and put in charge of breaking codes and intercepting Arab communications. During this time, very few countries possessed any ability to intercept and break codes. The US, UK, and the Soviet Union were among the few countries with this ability. This technological ability was not purchased from any other country, but rather developed by early Israeli computer engineers, some of whom had recently emigrated from the Soviet Union. The unit had some unique restraints that did not exist in the other technologically advanced countries, which included a lack of technical experience, technological institutions, funds, and manpower. To compensate for these deficiencies, members of the unit resorted to crude, albeit effective, techniques to monitor Arab communications. These techniques included stringing up an antenna made of metal wire between two poles connected to an old Helicopter's S-38, a popular civilian radio, in the 1930s and 40s. In 1949, the unit developed a more sophisticated monitoring system based on stolen BBC plans. From the Israeli Army Unit 8200 to Silicon Valley. Editor's note. Idan Tendler is the CEO and co-founder of FortScale, provider of big data analytics-driven security solutions for Fortune 1000 companies. Before founding FortScale, Tender was a lead agent of the 8200, the cyber warfare division of the Israeli Defense Forces. How does Israel, a small country with roughly 8 million people, produce more tech startups and receive more venture capital per capita than any nation in the world? Why does a country with few natural resources have more companies listed on the NASDAQ than Europe, Japan, Korea, India, and China combined? To understand Israel's innovation success, look no further than the Israeli Defense Forces and the country's mandatory policy of service for young adults. For me and the thousands of Israeli entrepreneurs like me, our startup journey began in the technology units of the Israeli Defense Forces. One unit in particular has become a prolific technology incubator, particularly in the field of cybersecurity, IDF Unit 8200. The 8200 is a special unit, and in many ways it's run like a high-tech startup. It begins with finding the best talent. IDF scouts comb the nation's high schools to identify high-potential candidates at an early age. They target students with superior analytical capabilities who can make quick decisions and work well in a team environment. Only the best and brightest are routed to this elite cybersecurity group. Instead of relying on outside research and development, the 8200's technologists work directly with their customers, the intelligence officers. All of the unit's technology systems, from analytics to data mining, intercept, and intelligence management, are designed and built in-house. Technologists sit side by side with their users on a daily basis to ensure that their products meet the intelligence officers' specific requirements. The result is that 8200 alumni have developed critical startup skills and experience even before they start their first company. That's why it's not a surprise that technology companies such as Checkpoint, Imperva, Nice, Galat, Waze, Trusteer, and Wix all have their roots in this IDF unit. Next time you're making a Wix website, think about that. Companies with founders who have been through the unit 8200. There's so many more. This is a very small list. Radware is a big one. It's probably one of the biggest ones. But Palo
I've
Alto
heard of
Networks.
CyberArk too.
Yeah. Argus Cybersecurity. Yeah, big ones. One of the earliest and most meaningful sessions during my 8200 training was held on a rainy day back in 1999. Unlike some of my high school friends who were already combat trainees stationed in the cold Negev desert, Unit 8200 training was held in a cozy, heated classroom. We were a bunch of 18-year-old kids who in a couple of months would be leading complex intelligence technological operations in Israel's equivalent of the NSA. In this intense course, we learned how to produce intelligence levers, the most advanced SIGINT, signal intelligence, utilize sophisticated data mining techniques, and conceive highly advanced technologies. On that particular rainy day, our instructors ran us through a simulation exercise. They provided us with hundreds of short, fictional pieces of intelligence. Each one on its own appeared inconsequential. Very quickly, however, one of my classmates, a future intelligence officer, began to piece together the puzzle presented to us. He yelled, "A war is about to break out." An intense debate erupted among the trainees about the true meaning of the seemingly unrelated information we had been provided. Our instructors had used the simulation to stimulate a heated discussion and, perhaps more importantly, a leadership test case. While we were passionately arguing whether a war was about to take place in our fictional state, our instructors dramatically stopped the stimulation and ended the discussion. They told us that the simulation was based on real-life events, and indeed a war had broken out. My classmate had been right. It was an important, poignant lesson for my classmates and me. We learned that succeeding in intelligence work required more than just discipline and professionalism. Success required out-of-the-box thinking, the courage to contradict conventional wisdom, and an ability to stave off hubris. A good intelligence officer needed to understand when to bypass hierarchies and be willing to take risks and make mistakes. Today, as a CEO and entrepreneur, it's fascinating to look back at my time spent in the IDF's Unit 8200. It was a formative learning experience that helps guide me in my job leading a fast-growing startup. As young adults with no university or professional experience, we ran complex technological projects. Nope. Lost it.
Here.
Where is it? And initiated startups on a regular basis. We invented best practices in data mining and investigative techniques. We learned to question authority and traditional ways of thinking in order to continuously improve outcomes. Our teams worked almost 24/7 without fear of the challenges we face, and we did it for hardly any pay. It was in the 8200 where I learned that the passion to invent starts with leadership and values. It begins with the belief that you have a sense of accountability and are doing something important that can change the world. Years later, I brought together a group of 8200 veterans to found FortScale, the applied philosophies, advanced medicine learning, and data mining concepts learned from our military service to identify malicious user activity and develop security analytics solutions. But our 8200 experience taught us many lessons. But our 8200 experience taught us many lessons more valuable than cybersecurity techniques and tools. We learned that success at our startup requires a willingness to constantly take risks in challenging situations, even when we are facing nation-state cyber adversaries. Success requires a persistent desire to improve and learn from failures. Basically, these fucking 8200 graduates in the Tapia program are going off to start companies all around the world, and they've got this massive experience from the IDF, obviously.
Yeah.
In order to backdoor these companies, backdoor the infrastructure of
All the
those countries.
cybersecurity.
The cybersecurity, exactly, so that they can basically do whatever they want. They have complete and utter control at that point.
You know, like a lot of that software and shit too is just like a total joke and like a scam.
Yeah.
A lot of these old people, like, it's pretty much every day. It's like fucking old people are buying like Norton and like $200 fucking spyware programs and shit, and they don't even know what they're doing.
Jesus.
It's pretty sad. All your information's going to Israel. But that's alright.
Unit 8200, where are you? Blackbird Podcast. Welcome to the Blackbird's Breakfast Club Wednesday podcast. Blah, blah, blah. In the first hour, host Frederick C. Blackburn will cover the recent chaotic events brought on by the teachings of the Frankfurt School Marxists. Okay. Okay, so there's a podcast, I guess. There it is. The Blackbird 9 podcast. How Israel is becoming the world's top cyber superpower. This actually came out from Vice News.
Wow. Holy shit.
Israel, or Startup Nation, as some call it, has become a world leader in cybersecurity, and the nation's military is fueling its supremacy. Although, which is fucking true, man. Like, in 2018, Vice did this. 2 years ago.
Wow. I guess they aren't totally useless.
Yeah.
I mean, they used to do pretty decent work. I liked the original shit when, like, Shane Smith would go in and fucking go in, like, Africa and shit. But nowadays, it's just total AIDS.
Yeah.
Like, how to smoke weed out of a carrot. Like a shit you not, that's an actual video they have.
How to give yourself a coffee enema.
How to suck your own dick.
How to suck your dog's dick.
How to shit in a spoon and feed it to your kids.
How to bake a child.
How to give yourself an abortion. Alright.
How to adopt an African child.
Israel, or Startup Nation, blah, blah, blah. Although Israel makes no cars of its own, the world's top auto security companies are all Israeli. The country also receives roughly 1/5 of the world's global private investment in cybersecurity. As independent and state-sponsored hackers wreak havoc, Israel continues to revolutionize its military and lead the way in the field.
You know they love their Mercedes.
To start, the Israeli Defense Force recruits the best and brightest coders and hackers as teens to funnel them into their elite cyber warfare units. Because going to the service is compulsory, you can look at the Israeli army as the largest HR organization in the world, said Ron Zahavi, the CEO of CyberSpark, a government initiative that serves as an innovation incubator.
So they just get like a team of like autists together.
Yeah.
And they just pay them a few shekels and let them just spurg out.
Essentially, they get the most autistic people they can, the most autistic, spurgy Jews of the Jews, and get them together into groups where they scheme and plot for Greater Israel and the Zionist project. And I'm not saying this as like, I don't think that all Jews are bad, and I'm not a racist guy, you know what I'm saying, but yeah, maybe I'm racist.
Can we make blood capsules out of these and scare the shit out of Joe?
I don't think so.
Go home, red dye, swallow,
Maybe.
puke him out. Joe, we're puking up blood.
Super prank.
Anyway, sorry to derail you.
That's alright. No, I was derailing myself. Let's see. These
What
elite,
they, Roy?
these elite units are some of the most impressive in the world. Unit 8200, for example, used to be a closely guarded secret because it's believed to be responsible for the Stuxnet cyber attack that sabotaged the Iranian nuclear program. Can we get a big fucking fart in the face for that one? The skills these soldiers learn in units like 8200 are extremely profitable on the free market. Former Israeli soldiers have brought their military and technological know-how to the private sector and created companies that specialize in cyber defense and offensive. Vice's Ben Ferguson traveled to Israel to investigate the future of cyber warfare from the country that's dedicated itself to becoming a superpower. While there, he explored the blurred lines among education, military tech, entrepreneurship, and excessive surveillance.
Ben Ferguson.
Ben Ferguson.
Hands up, don't shoot.
His last name's Ferguson.
Okay. Yeah. Alright, and there's the link to that, I guess. Cool. 6 reasons Israel became a cybersecurity powerhouse leading the $82 billion industry. Cyber is a great business. It's growing geometrically because there is never a permanent solution. It's never-ending business, said Benjamin Netanyahu, Israel's Prime Minister at Tel Aviv University's 7th Annual Cybersecurity Conference. Thomas Bossert, assistant to the U.S. President for Homeland Security and Counterterrorism, announced at the event the creation of a U.S.-Israeli bilateral cyber working group that will develop innovative cyber defenses we can test here and then take back to America. Israel has become a cybersecurity powerhouse at the center of an $82 billion industry, not counting spending on internal security staff and processes. In addition to collaborating with superpowers, Israel is assisting smaller nations, e.g. Singapore, creating 300-plus cybersecurity startups, for examples. See here. Exporting last year's $6.5 billion in cybersecurity projects, convincing more than 30 multinationals to open local R&D centers and attracting foreign investors. In 2016, we had about 20% of the global private security investments, said Netanyahu. 20% of the global private fucking cybersecurity investments. That is 1/5, baby. That is that's the fucking. That's a lot, man, for a tiny little country.
Tiny little country that seems to grow every year.
Yeah, how are they growing? How are they growing so fast?
You know, it couldn't be anything to do with those Palestinians. You know,
before we go on here,
I don't think they've ever, you know, shot any Palestinian kids in the dick by chance.
You know, I don't think they would never do that.
Is that what that South Park episode was about? When Butters kept shooting cops in the dick?
Yeah.
Kept shooting people in the dick?
That's probably it. Oh, perfect. Comes up right away.
Oh, it was from 5 years ago.
I don't think I could compete with that. That was theatrical. Instead, I would like to go a bit beyond the comments that both of my colleagues have made and suggest not only that Israel is no ally, but also
I think Mossad's preventing us from getting viewers.
because it does actual damage to the United States
What's that?
through using considerable access
Mossad's preventing us from getting more viewers.
to promote policies
They do that.
that are good neither for the United States nor for Israel. I'm sure you've all heard the expression that a friend does not let a friend drive drunk.
But where's the line
The
between
United
Mossad and
States
saying
has
them,
been
you know?
driving drunk for quite some time, and that dangerous behavior has to some extent been encouraged by
I
Israel.
wonder if you could
and its
stream
many
on
supporters.
D-Live and YouTube at the same time.
Israel might or might not have been an actual
I would
neighbor
think so.
of the disastrous American invasion of Iraq, but it is undeniably true that
We could at least set up my
American
like, we could set up my iPad to stream
were behind the Russian
something else.
war and the forgery of phony
Well, we might be able to
intelligence
just
that
add
fed
the other
process.
stream key and do it both
If the United
simultaneously.
States goes to war with Iran in the near future, it will not be because Tehran actually threatened America. It will be because Israel and its powerful lobby in the U.S. have succeeded in creating an essentially false casus belli to mandate such action. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who once commented that 9/11 was good for Israel, has repeatedly sought to
Yo,
prevent
base.
Republicans to draw red lines that would narrow options for the White House and de
So much
facto
chutzpah.
require it to take action.
9/11, it was good for Israel. It was good for
Congress
Israel.
is meanwhile advancing legislation that would commit the United States to intervene militarily in support of a unilateral Israeli attack, meaning that Israel could easily be empowered to make a decision on whether or not the U.S. goes to war.
Type in like
Nothing
PDF
relating to
news.
Israel is quite
and it
likely
just
the
comes
U.S.
up with, like,
interaction
France
with
shit.
countries. Delinda
all
and
these
Janet have
bike
outlined the
bike
dollar
videos.
special financing arrangements that go to support Israel, measures that are not in place for any other nation. Congress also approved on Wednesday, as part of the United States-Israel Strategic Partnership Act, by a vote of 410 to 1, an Israeli exemption from the reciprocity mandated by the so-called visa waiver program. Israelis will be able to travel freely to the United States, while their government will be allowed to refuse entry to American citizens. This is a privilege that is granted to no other country. One congressman has recently even introduced a bill to cut off federal funding for any academic organization that engages in boycotting Israel. Boycotting other countries is okay. Israel interferes in American elections. Most recently on behalf of Mitt Romney, it has corrupted our Congress. Its head of government publicly
It's not even
has
fully in the
corrupted our
Congress.
Congress.
Really.
Israel interferes in American elections. 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 Most recently on behalf of Mitt Romney, it has corrupted
Those are
our
good
Congress.
glitch.
Its head of government publicly rebukes our own head of state. Government ministers insult and
Yeah,
ridicule
see,
George
it's like
Gary,
right there.
and its intelligence officers actually provide alarmist and inaccurate private briefings for American senators
Weird.
on Capitol Hill. I also would not doubt that Israel, accustomed to behaving with impunity towards its alleged friend and patron Washington, might manufacture a pretext to draw the U.S. into a new conflict. Something reminiscent of the Lavon affair.
Already happened,
That
maybe?
doesn't sound like, you know, Iran.
The Lavon affair.
I didn't say anything, but
The USS Liberty. He just dropped the Lavon affair and the USS Liberty in one fucking go.
Syria, a proposition that is opposed overwhelmingly by the American public. In short, Israel has no reluctance to use its enormous political and media clout in the U.S. to pressure successive administrations to conform to its own foreign and security policy views.
And it is. Look at the Donald Trump
One other
administration.
very good reason why
Yo,
Israel should not
Israel
receive
flag
billions
check.
of dollars in military assistance annually is its persistent espionage against the United States. Grant Smith has
See if
described
you
how
can, like,
friends of
drag
Israel
him
stole
more.
enriched uranium from a Pennsylvania refinery to create a nuclear arsenal. More recently, we have learned how Arnon Milchan,
see, there's a little
a
bit of
Hollywood producer born in Israel, arranged for the illegal purchase of 800 real triggers. Milchan picked up an Oscar last Sunday without any interference from the FBI. The
He got an Oscar after he bought 800 fucking nuclear triggers.
Yeah, it's still not all the way over.
Israeli companies in New Jersey and Florida, as well as hundreds of art students nationwide. 5 Israelis from one of the companies were observed celebrating
That's so weird.
against the backdrop of the Twin Towers going down.
I don't know why.
While it is often observed that everyone spies on everyone
Okay,
else,
sorry about this chat. We're doing a live fucking troubleshoot
espionage
here.
is a high-risk business
Okay,
that
lessons.
most countries are extremely careful when they are spying on
Wait.
friends because of fear of blowback.
I got
Israel,
it.
which relies on Washington for billions of
There we
dollars
go.
in aid and also for political coverage of international foreign law and
So
land,
scuffed.
does not spy discreetly, largely because it knows that few in Washington will
I hope
seek
that
to
fixed
hold
it.
account. There were, for example, no consequences for the Israelis when Israeli Mossad intelligence officers using passports and pretending to be Americans recruited terrorists to carry out attacks inside Iran, as noted by Mark Perry this morning. Israelis using U.S. passports in that fashion put
Yeah, it's a lot
American
better.
travel at risk. Israel,
It's
the
also
government
in
and
the
the
corner.
government
That's
has
perfect.
obtained significant advantage
Don't you? Isn't it
by
beautiful?
systematically stealing American
Isn't it
technology
beautiful?
with both military and civilian applications. The U.S. developed technology is then reverse engineered and used by the Israelis to support their own exports. Sometimes when the technology is military in nature and winds up in the hands of an adversary, the consequences can be serious. Israel has sold advanced weapon systems to China that are believed to incorporate technology developed by American companies, including Python 3 air-to-air missile and the Delilah cruise missile. There is evidence that Israel has also stolen Patriot missile avionics to incorporate into its own arrow system.
They've stolen our fucking missile avionics. Stolen our missile blueprints and shit.
Which was funded by U.S. taxpayers to help the Chinese develop their own J-10.
Oh, so I guess we, the American taxpayers, help the Chinese develop their. We're helping them develop their jets and their military tech now. That's great. I'm glad. You know, I'll just.
And Larry Franklin
Yo,
as
babe.
spies for Israel
Let's go push it down.
fought, but they are only the tip of the iceberg. Israel always features prominently in the annual
He's
FBI
waiting
report
for you to go off.
foreign economic collection, economic and industrial collection. The 2005 report states, Israel has an active program to gather proprietary information within the United States. These collection activities are primarily directed at obtaining information, military systems, and advanced computing applications that can be used in Israel's sizable armaments industry. It adds that Israel recruits spies, uses electronic methods, and carries out computer intrusion to gain information. A 1996 Defense
did
Investigative
9/11.
Service report noted that Israel has great success stealing technology by
Sponsored by Bush.
production projects that it has with the Pentagon. It says, placing Israeli nationals in key industries is a technique utilized with great success. A General Accounting Office examination of espionage against American defense and security industries described how Israeli citizens residing in the U.S. had stolen sensitive technology to manufacture artillery gun tubes, obtained classified plans from reconnaissance systems,
It never
and
ends.
sensitive aerospace designs from unauthorized users. The GAO concluded that Israel conducts, and this is a quote, conducts the most aggressive espionage operation against the United States of any U.S. ally. In June 2006, of any U.S. ally, conducts the most aggressive espionage operation against the United States. GAO concluded that Israel conducts, and this is a quote, conducts the most aggressive espionage operation against the United States of any U.S. ally. In June 2006,
Greatest
the
ally check?
administrative judge overruled an appeal by an Israeli who had been denied a security clearance. Imagine that Israeli security clearance at the Pentagon. But anyway, they overruled him when he appealed. It said the Israeli government is actively engaged in military industrial espionage in the United States. An Israeli citizen working in the U.S. who has access to proprietary information is likely to be a target of such espionage. More recently,
Watch out.
counterintelligence officer John Cole has reported how many cases of Israeli espionage are dropped under orders of the Justice Department. He provides a conservative
Wow.
of 120.
The Justice Department. We're going to be hearing about the Justice Department, okay? I mean, we might even bust out some notes on the Justice Department tonight. Maybe we'll just stay up all night.
Israeli espionage involving both American citizens and Israelis that were stopped through repression.
Not that everybody in the Justice Department is bad, obviously. Okay, most of the people there, you know, good old meat and potatoes folks for sure. You know, great. We obviously get that, but there are some bad actors at the top of the ranks. Every time.
The question is Israel an ally of the United States? Is most likely no. Is it even a friend? Well, I suppose there are all kinds of friends in the world, but if you judge Israel by its record on how it interacts with the American government and people, it also have to be no. Thank you.
Thank you, Phil Giraldi. Former CIA, I believe. Fucking, one of the good ones, man. One of the good ones.
Fucking Mike Tyson, what the hell?
Should we should we take a small diversion? I feel like we should take a little palate cleanser here. Maybe watch some more animal cannibalism. I don't know. Let's see if there's a short video here maybe of
Yeah, do that one.
birds, berry eaters. Birds are vegans. Look at the art form of stalking its prey. This bird is stalking its prey. That's a fucking predator.
It's like a dinosaur.
Yeah. It's like a cat. Oh,
Damn.
Shit. Speared that guy. Oh, dude.
Right on the head.
Oh, no.
Damn.
Oh, man. That's brutal.
That-
Okay.
That was
Alright, I've seen
pretty.
enough.
You can't just stop it now.
How does he kill it, I guess?
I want to see it eat it.
How does he...
I need to know now.
I need to know.
How can it fit that down its neck?
That's a good question. What is its plan for this?
It's just not letting go, though. It's just trying to choke it out.
It's just waiting for it to, kill itself, basically.
I bet that's probably just nerves at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, it probably
Man,
died.
that's brutal. It just shakes it.
Yeah, it's just trying to snap its neck real quick. It's like, come on, dude, die already. Oh, man, that's fucked. God, this is hard to watch.
I just want to know if it eats it.
Oh, it's gone. It disappeared, so it's got to go somewhere.
What the
Oh,
But we got back.
whoa! Oh my God.
I
Okay.
just speared it again.
Okay, so the spirit is pretty much dead now. Stop moving. It's like, all right, I'm gonna try and fit this down my
What
throat.
the hell,
Deep
dude?
throat this real quick.
It just ate it whole.
Oh my
What happens
God.
to the bones, dude?
Nothing happened.
It
Nothing to
just
see
shits
here.
it out.
Nothing to see here. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Wow, it's just got a fucking mouse in its neck. Just gotta shake it down. Shake it down. Just gotta shake it down. Shake down the brown. Oh, it's crawling back up. It's crawling back up for dear life. That's fucked. Ooh, that was brutal.
That was brutal.
That was pretty brutal. Duck Savage Seagull. Oh God. Are we gonna watch animal fights? Is this an animal fight channel now?
Yep.
Are we? Oh my God. Oh jeez. We do not condone animal fights or animal violence, especially animal on animal violence.
What's going on?
Oh my God.
Oh shit.
Damn, dude, he took that guy down. This other guy's jumping in. It's like, I want to get some of this shit. Oh, the seagull's dead.
Oh,
He's down.
wow.
Might as well just, he tapped out by now. Oh, man. The other seagull's like, come on, man. Just fucking, don't kick him while he's down. Don't beak him while he's down. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna eat this motherfucker. I'm gonna eat this motherfucker.
These guys are just like fucking laughing, just
Oh.
watching it.
The seagull's
Could be
alive.
saving it.
Yeah, dude, seriously, could be saving the seagull or like breaking up the fight. Oh shit, man. Well, don't mess with a duck. Ducks will fuck.
Coots?
What the hell is a
What
coot?
is a coot?
I have to know now. What? They're like a kind of duck. Oh my God, there's just curb stopping this. There's some water
Oh my
stopping this
God.
motherfucker. Oh, just give him a second. Give him a second to stand up. See, this is
Diversity is our strength.
this is an example. All right, chat. You know, you wanted to see what happens when. Look at that seagull right there. He's minding his own business. He's like, "Hey guys, come on. I'm just trying to stand here. I'm just trying to swim here. I'm just trying to, eat some fish." And these aggressive. Look, they're even fighting with each other. Look at these aggressive fucking other birds that just come out of nowhere and just start beating up on the seagull for no reason. Why are they beating up on the seagull? Does they have to take out their aggression, their inferiority complex on the seagull? Because I don't know. It's a.
It can't even move. That's so fucked. Yeah, it's dead.
Oh, that's fucked, man. It's still kicking a little bit.
I don't know how. What the fuck?
It's like calling
It
out.
looks
It's like,
fucked
hey, get
up.
back here, fuckers. I'll kick your ass. I'll still kick your ass. Yeah, my legs are broken. Yeah, I've got a fucking.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I don't know if I wanna. I don't know if I can watch this anymore, man.
Pretty fucking. Pretty dark.
Oh. Yeah. So it almost. Should we go there? Should we go like Minneapolis?
Yep.
Yeah.
We're
All right.
there.
Well, chat. We're gonna have to look at. We're gonna see harmony. We're gonna see the harmony of mankind. Oh, what should we? What's the?
Let's type in Minneapolis crime.
See what comes up.
Oh, violent downtown robberies caught on camera. There we go.
Oh, it's just pick a random video, I guess.
In downtown Minneapolis
See what
caught on
happens.
camera. A warning though, the videos are disturbing, but also revealing of a new
Yep,
crime
this is
program. Violent robberies were dramatic this summer in downtown Minneapolis until police connected the dots.
Targeted attacks. Who are they targeting? Are you gonna say anything about
The
that?
victims who were seriously injured in those assaults also appear to have been targeted in these coordinated attacks. Tom Light joining us. Tom, sounds like there's a real pattern to all of this.
Kelsey, Randy, there is a definite pattern. Most of these robberies and assaults are happening in a very particular part of downtown, from Hennepin to 2nd Avenue, with a real hot spot between 6th and 3rd Streets, essentially north of the theater district to the
I
central
think
library.
there's more of a
And
pattern
most
than
between
that.
10 p.m. and 3 a.m.
I used to fucking walk there all the time. I used to walk all around that place.
Really?
Yeah, when I used to go to school in St. Paul.
Damn.
Lived in Minneapolis for a
Fifth and
while.
Hennepin, 3
This
weeks
could've
ago
been me.
tonight. A man is staring at his smartphone on a corner still bustling at 4 a.m.
Yeah, just
Another man
looking at a
strikes up a
smartphone,
conversation.
surrounded. Oh,
and within
these
seconds,
these
he's
fellow
surrounded
human
by
beings,
6
they're nice
others
people.
And brutally beaten.
They care about me as a
It
human
goes
being,
on
just
for
as
a
I care
couple
about them,
minutes.
right?
No one
Look at
steps
that.
in.
That guy just kicked him in the
The
fucking
victim is
head.
left
Look at them
unconscious
ganging
on
up
the
on him like they have
sidewalk.
no shame,
All
no
of this
honor,
for his cell phone.
no
They
dignity.
took his
Days
shoes.
earlier, and a few blocks away, a dice game at Target Field Plaza ends when a cell
Merciless,
phone is swiped
bloodthirsty
and a
animal.
brutal beatdown begins. The victim is stripped, punched, and kicked in the head. He's
Oh yeah, this
defenseless
is the
as the
one with
suspects
Brooke
jump
Shannon.
on him, throw potted plants on him, and ride over him on a bike.
The videos to virtually everybody that saw it were very disturbing.
The numbers are disturbing too. Year-to-date robberies
Virtually
are
everyone that
46%
saw
in
it.
downtown Minneapolis.
Unless you're not white.
And in a
you know.
3-week period in August, 47
You're not white,
robberies. And
probably
the
doesn't
cost
disturb you very
each
much.
time was a smartphone.
To be honest, let's
Bill
be
Peterson is
honest.
the new inspector downtown.
The vast majority of these incidents
And why is that? Because of maybe, I don't know, evolutionary biological drives that have developed over millions of years, and aren't anybody's fault, by the way. So,
Sometimes they'll ask for a cigarette or to use a phone. Or in the case of this man walking
But,
through the
you know,
rail station, they'll
evolutionary
block his path,
drives
harass him,
that develop over millions of years, it's kind of out of your hands. What are you gonna do about it? So. You can't teach evolution. You can't teach, biology, to do what you want it to do,
And police believe many of the phones are ending up in machines like
eugenics, and
this.
that's like.
An eco ATM.
So they get their
More than
phone
40
and
in
then just sell it.
Where you can get up to a couple $100 for your old
At
smartphone.
Walmart.
The machines require a photo ID.
Capitalism at its best.
The company won't provide exact numbers, but says out of 22 million cell phones it's purchased in the last decade, less than 1% were stolen.
Anytime today we're having to work law enforcement because we don't want anyone stealing devices.
Less
Here's
than
the only good
1% were
news. During a
stolen.
3-day
Yeah,
sweep
I
a
somehow
couple weeks
doubt
ago,
that.
police arrested 16
Oh, and that was an
of the
investigation done by the
suspects
company,
in
I'm
the 2
assuming.
assaults.
They
Yeah,
ranged
an
in
internal
age
investigation.
13 to 25 years of age.
People are going to be shocked
Hmm.
at a 13-year-old being involved in this kind of activity. You're not shocked.
I'm not shocked that a 13-year-old. It depends on what.
You're not
Where do
shocked.
they come from? What
This
race are they?
fucking boomer is so out of touch.
Yeah, maybe a 13-year-old kid from like a white kid from Minnesota or Michigan or something.
Like Utah.
Yeah, or Utah, some white kid from some Christian, or fucking paganistic community or something. Like, yeah, I would be surprised if they went on some like brutal.
Yo, what's
rampage.
wrong with this guy's neck? Yo, can we get a neck check? The fuck? What is
But when
this?
you push people into
Does this guy get the Epstein treatment?
when you push people into a ghetto and then put them on welfare programs, you know, to like break up their families, and then tell them that they're like.
Oh, look at this. This is
epitome of the
Kalamazoo. This is
culture.
relatively close. I've been here before for a concert. I wonder what happens next.
Just like we're gonna have like a loud argument with a cop.
Look at how, what the fuck, they like all suddenly like flop.
Yeah, they're like literally all flocking around the cop. And they see him as an Uncle Tom because he's patrolling the area, keeping people safe, making sure people don't murder each other. Yeah, you know, in a way, you know, maybe we should just repeal police, you know, and just see what happens. I think it would be good for people, it would be good for humanity to just see what happens. Balls to police force and you know, let good old everyday citizens take care of their own business. Come on, man! Come on, get off me, man! What are you doing, man? It's like, come on, you've been arrested before, right? What was that? There's little kids there. Who is letting those little kids just, like, around this area? This responsible adult is fucking, reaching behind him in his pants and his baggy clothing. Why did he step into view of the police officer still reaching into his fucking baggy pants? Is he retarded? Oh, he just tossed something to his face.
Yo, he's going on world stuff.
Look at all these fucking, this swarm. Oh shit.
It's about to get real.
Holy shit, this is a swarm. My name is Boom I'll come to your village. I'll rape your woman. I'll take your kids. Give me Air Jordan. Somebody's just shrieking. It's pulling that girl out there. No! I'm gonna kick his ass! You two should go. Yeah, dude, like, this cop has every right to just beat the shit out of this guy. I am very surprised he hasn't pulled his weapon yet.
Like, he's clearly
Sounds
resisting
like
right.
reason for this movie.
Dude, all those people around him, like, within reach. So much fucking wood rage. This woman is just confused. This baby is just running down the hill. What's going on? It's my daddy. He's fighting a police officer. Oh my god.
It's like two cops chasing this guy down.
The whole neighborhood is just running around.
That one guy just runs.
Everybody's like, oh, it's fun. Be cool, be cool. Just pretend nothing's happening. We all just chilling. We all just here and shit.
They're like slowly dispersed.
Yeah, yeah, we just like be chilling here for a while now. We just like, we been here and shit. Now we're leaving. Now we're gonna leave though. She's got her fucking boots on. I'm big. I'm thick. I'm a curve.
Running circles around this house.
This lady is like pushing 300 now. She is very close to just going right over the edge and becoming a permanent fixture to
What
her
are the
bed.
cops doing? Need for one guy. This is a great, you know.
You can't use too much force, so you gotta call on, you know, a lot of people.
That cop ran
Chase
around.
him
That's
around.
the third time that cop has ran around that house.
Well, this has very quickly become like a.
What is this now? This is
crime
cops.
scene.
Yeah, this is like a. We're going through the
Cops review.
Yeah, cops review. We're going through the annals of
This
YouTube.
guy's just gonna drive through.
Going through the annals of YouTube, finding the best cops moments.
Should we stream on D Live too?
No, yeah. Maybe not like tonight, but
I was thinking we could even just put it on like same stream feed.
yeah. Minnesota hoods. Did I live there? Everything looks so fucking similar over there. The city's just like a big modernist spew of trash.
We got suspicious gang activity going on. There's
Surprisingly, not as bad as I thought it would be.
Yeah. Yeah, it's worse in other places.
Do like a fucking Flint, Michigan one.
Yeah.
Hood vlogs. There you go.
You still up looking for him, bud? Sir.
Anybody around out here in the street? So if you want to do it inside, that's cool.
It's just that like fucking weird, hazy, dreamy twilight nighttime.
No disrespect to nobody else in the neighborhood. Like you said, we the only gangsters in Wild. I swear to God. I'm glad you said that. Tell them on the hood.
Only hood that push gangsters. Tell them.
Gang man. Lots gang.
So diverse.
So this is diverse shit, man. This is truly diverse. This is as diverse as it gets.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm in Los Angeles. We're in the watch right now.
You see where that motherfucker took off from? Right there.
Hey, Samuel Jackson.
They don't even go nowhere. They just boo, 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 boo. So that bitch go up and see everything over here. All they gotta do is just rise up. That motherfucker see everything right here.
Crack cocaine.
Like, first they had just, they put like a little screen on it. Cause at first we just used
Shoes on
to
the
shoot
power
paintball.
line was a good sign.
Then they put a little screen on it. Then that's
Everywhere.
when motherfuckers start shooting them bitches with, fucking bullets. Then they put the whole fucking bulletproof thing up there.
So people were shooting at the streetlights, so they had to put up bulletproof streetlights. People. Okay, that's what your tax money is going towards, okay? You understand how fucking deep it gets? Just imagine, like, if they have to bulletproof the streetlights, just imagine the other things that we have to fucking pay for, okay?
So when that bitch lift up, boom, that motherfucker right here. That motherfucker, it go down that slow. That motherfucker don't pop up that slow. That bitch go, boom.
But they got nice cars. Look at that. It's probably nicer than your car, Chad. They have to bulletproof the streetlights in that.
Fake it. Right here. He's gonna run to over there. Hey, get inside.
What the fuck? There's just a pig running around? What the fuck? There's a pig in Compton.
Why is Compton Compton knows not to
Random
run.
pig goes walking around.
What's up, Roddy Gray right Smooth.
What do you do? Random. Possibly dangerous, possibly sporadic pit bull.
You know what I'm saying? So shout out to everybody. Shout out to homie Gladys Malone, brother Cam, you know what I'm saying? That's all the big homies that always let me up. These motherfuckers do whatever the fuck I want. So what's up, Compton, Ruthless Record. My new album's out right now, Compton Symphony. Go check it out. It's on YouTube, it's on everywhere. We've been here for a long time. My mama, you know, we always lived in Compton. So my grandma lived on 109, still does live on.
Dude, this is my life. Like, this is my fucking life for like 2.5 years. Just talking to people like this. Like, literally every day. After a while, people were like, "Oh, why don't you go outside so much, Roy? Why don't you go to the bar?"
Chatty is fine here.
I'm happy for you. Good, that's good, because if you're not on probation, that means that you haven't been committing a crime.
Typical situation. We're just having a normal situation in the Compton.
Hey, you'd be surprised, man.
Having a bonding moment.
What about your party? Can you step up a little bit for me, bud? Sir, can you step up right there for me real quick? Thank you.
Whose car is this right here? What's your car? You have to park this car. You're gonna get plates on that? You say mom or something? Yeah. Come on, man. I'm always listening. What are we doing wrong? You're blocking the sidewalk. This car's parked in the red. Don't play anybody hanging out over here in the street. So if you want to do it inside, everybody around, everybody keep it. How about this? We'll take off. You guys do what you need to do, but just later on, try to keep it under control. Is that good?
He's like so persuasive and like diplomatic with them. He's just surrounded by this danger.
117th in Watts.
Everybody hates him in this fucking neighborhood. Everybody hates cops. They wonder why they don't patrol the ghetto so much. Because you fucking hate them. Why would they?
I'm out here with this yellow boy. He's from Compton.
Chilly at the big homegirl house. Man, if you say that.
160
Yeah,
hours.
Never tell a lady her age.
We celebrate
Future rocket scientists here.
drinking this Hennessy. You know what I'm saying? Shooting dice and all that.
Future leaders.
Because we're in Cali, so it's warm, but it's actually cold out right now.
Shooting dice, drinking Hennessy. Having my girl pop her booties in front of the kids.
Cameras out with pop your booty.
Chicken and all that.
Cameras out. Got a box of chicken. Alright. Okay, things are getting real. Things are getting real. Got a huge box of chicken. Fucking, that was like a 20-gallon box of chicken, I would say. That's a woman who's trying to be a man. That's what they call ghetto emo. This is a black butch.
That bro needs to grow a beard that was patchy, white dildos showing up. Drinking Hennessy, shooting dice.
Drinking Hennessy,
that
shooting
dude
dice.
needs to just grow a beard or something. He's gonna fucking.
That's style. That's style. It's Chris Brown.
Yeah, but he's got like a huge mongoloid face. Chris Brown, you know? Chris Brown's basically a woman.
I thought this guy was Chris Brown.
Like,
You should have put your biceps.
he's like if Chris Brown had testosterone in his body. Like, oh, that's Sherry Murray.
Eastside Compton, boy, get crazy. Got the grip, high rules on the fucking game. Where you from? Where you going? Where you know, nigga? You don't say nobody's name, that's your ass, nigga.
Yeah, we play my song all day.
Man, Eastside movement, nigga, we winning, guns and extensions. Nigga, I put that on my mama.
Big ass dick tongue.
Oh, got the mantra.
Falling straight down the rabbit
Falling
hole.
straight into the fucking Compton ghetto.
You're attaching rockets to your back and then igniting it down the rabbit hole.
Look at this guy. Look at this fucking Compton of characters. Check out her hairdo.
They all the people calling and trunks and shit. They trying to find something so bad. We've been around here for like at least an hour.
We were doing a video shoot. We were just doing a video shoot. I can't.
We doing a video shoot. Look, see, look, that's what's wrong. We just, look, he said what's wrong with the camera, whatever.
Stop. Don't treat me like I'm new. My man, can you do me a favor? You're more welcome to film this.
No. We're gonna keep filming. No, we're gonna keep filming. No, he ain't gonna stop.
Don't treat me like I knew. He's having like a dominance fight with the cop.
That's Mr. Martinez right there. He said she no, I don't know Martinez. Look, that's Mr. Martinez he been a hypocrite. He been right here too long and he messing with people.
That's fine. That's fine. It's on the station. The detectives have to talk. I'm not a detective.
When does this ever happen? Like, does this ever happen in your neighborhood, chat? I don't know.
They taking them up, man.
Hope not. This scenario, this happens every Saturday.
He had the right thing. He's more than welcome to film. Okay. All right, come on.
I mean, we need some like more real shit than
Yeah,
this.
they fuck with us for no reason, man.
Tears in the bayou, in the streets of Houston.
It's like 2 hours long.
Hell yeah, I got a Glock. Shit, don't stop.
Yeah.
That's the end of the vlog. I hope you enjoyed this
Alright,
video.
well,
Thanks
I
for
got
all
something
the
to
support
do.
and patience, and I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Hey, Daisy.
I don't know. What should we wrap this up with? Should we wrap this up, or should we go for like 2 more hours? Or something?
It's up to you.
Oof. Let's do some Captain Butt Naked, dude.
General butt naked.
Oh yeah, dude.
Next, a final installment in our series from the Economist Project. It's about Joshua Milton LYAN, also known as General Butt Naked, one of Liberia's most feared warlords. He was responsible for killing and maiming thousands during Liberia's 14-year civil war. Then suddenly the general renounced his violent past and reinvented himself as a charismatic Christian evangelist. His story is told in a new documentary titled The Redemption of General Butt Naked. Filmmakers Eric Strauss and Danielle Anastasia spent 5 years with LYAN tracking his often troubling past. He sought forgiveness.
You can, you know, rape and eat children and torture them for, you know, until they die, and then just pray to Jesus and all of your sins are absolved. So
this is the kind of like Christian weakness that I hate.
Yeah.
Like that, oh, turn the other cheek. No.
Bullshit.
Yeah, bullshit. You can turn your life around.
Look at all those people who like don't believe.
Yeah.
All these guys are like
no
bullshit.
redemption.
What? This guy's like, no.
Giving him the death stare.
Yeah, are you kidding, dude? What the fuck?
He ate children.
Yeah, that guy did
torture children.
That guy did the voice of Waka, Final Fantasy X, I bet. You trust a man after what he did. It's hard thing, eh? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm naked, I'm killing, it is not right, but joining a particular religion is not
I'm naked, I'm killing.
It is not right. They take the poo-poo from the butts and they eat the poo-poo.
Fucking
I didn't mean to kill your brain, that's war. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Thank you. Forgive me. No. Thank you. I kill your brother out of madness. But please, I will be able to play the brother.
Oh no, dude.
Everything that your brother can do. But I will stand there whenever you need the brotherly counsel, whenever you need the brotherly protection, try to call on me.
Oh god. He like killed her brother and it's like,
I'll be your brother now.
I'll be your brother now. I'm your brother now.
I shot him, and you know, chop him dead. Now, when she reminded me, I felt so evil.
Yeah, that's probably because you are.
I killed their brothers, killed their sisters, ripped them, crippled them. They are right not to forgive me.
I don't really see knows that.
Thousands of people that stand up here now and say, this is what he did to me, this is what he did to my brother. I'm guilty. I'm only person guilty of all things and things. People claim that by sin. I tell you, I feel fake. We saw him during the war, we saw what he did, and we are seeing what he's doing now. This is a man who came very rapidly. TRC is an organization or is a body that is investigating the causes of the war. And after this investigation, TRC is supposed to recommend
Causes of the war. Are we gonna hire some evolutionary biologists?
I'm supposed to be going to the war court, war crime court. I'm going to be arrested, placed in jail. This is the reality. The key people like the warlords and main generals are refusing to testify.
Beautiful city.
Because you know, God is going to be the first. The wicked creep in the twilight. They go in secret and hope that no eyes see them.
Well, you could do that at night.
So that's the strength of evil, secrecy, denial. Once the wickedness is revealed, it's like they are walking out of that wickedness.
Can you give us maybe an estimate of if this is a civilian tragedy, how many civilians it taking lost their lives as a direct result of acts committed at the time?
What can relate to the processes throughout the war, everything you have done is should not be less than 20,000.
He made that statement, I saw it as him expressing his deep responsibility for a process.
Or bragging about it.
To the deaths of these kind of people.
I was saying that Johnson not really cool to the TLC. Let us see what this guy will actually take his strength to really testify what he did. I mean, it was something amazing, you know. And this is what we need. Because we have a whole lot of people around here who heard us and they are now even waiting to say sorry. Don't forget his recommendation is now a sentence. That doesn't mean that he will be forgiven or he is forgiven. There's still some people pressing for persecutions of criminal accountability.
Huh? He's Christian now. Because he's Christian, so... Not gonna get your revenge because he's with Jesus now. So.
And the 15 of that recommended amnesty for me.
Oh, wow.
After the TRC recommended amnesty, BEYONCE says he received death threats from other warlords and he fled with gun. He has now returned to Liberia. The film airs on the documentary channel on January 22nd. On our website, you can watch Jeffrey Brown's interview with the filmmakers.
Tonight marks the end of our year-long collaboration with The Economist magazine, highlighting the work of independent documentary filmmakers. Together we've showcased 19 films about everything from skateboarding in Afghanistan to the struggle of white farmers in Zimbabwe, to art made in the world's largest landfill in Brazil. You can find all the other segments of the series on our website at film.economist.com.
5 elite families who made their fortunes in opium trade.
There we go.
We're in Uganda. Uganda's had a pretty good spell the last 25 years. No major civil wars, a little bit of an Ebola outbreak every so often, including right now. And
rest this. Here's our whitelist.
With your help, we'll hold Trump accountable. Blah, blah, blah.
Okay, what can we do here?
Your contribution to alternate 2020 will ensure progressive, on-the-ground election reporting.
Muslims support justice.
Raw story ad-free. Oh, you just gotta buy our shit. You could try it for 1 month for $1, and then it's probably $20.
Yeah.
To go to some website that I've never even heard of, it's probably fucking retarded.
There's a lot of money in the dope business, and there's always has been. Prohibit something people want, sometimes very desperately, and someone will find a way to get it to them anyway, at a price. That's a lesson in futility, as some American politicians seem to be finally figuring out with our current drug prohibition, and as China's emperors found out when they attempted to ban the importation of opium into the Middle Kingdom in the early 19th century. Backed by their own governments, Western traders ignored Chinese concerns and demands, flooding the country with opium. When necessary, they enlisted their governments to back them up with military force, humiliating and humbling the empire, and getting rich in the process. Most of these traders were British, but a significant number were American, and the profits they made were the cornerstone of some of the 19th century America's greatest fortunes. Right now, other merchants are making fortunes in the same business. If they get caught, they lose everything. But if they don't, there's nothing like time and money to wash the dirt off their fortunes. The Astor family. America's first millionaire, John Jacobs Astor, joined the opium smuggling trade in 1916 when his American fur company bought 10 tons of Turkish opium and smuggled it into Canton, seeking other sources of profit. Well, faced with woes in the fur trade, he became the first American known to have entered the contraband Chinese opium trade and made a nice profit before abruptly exiting the business 3 years later. The Forbes family. John Murray Forbes and Robert Bennett Forbes worked for Perkins & Co. in its China trade, while the former's main job was to secure quality tea for export. That latter was made more intimately involved in the importing size of the business and had more of a direct role in the opium trade. Their father, Ralph Forbes, had married into the Perkins family. It was the brothers' activities in the 1830s and 1840s that led to the Forbes family's accumulated wealth. The most notable family member on the contemporary scene is the U.S. Secretary of State John Forbes Carey. The Forbes legacy in the China opium trade lived on in the Museum of the American China Trade in Milton, Massachusetts, which was housed in Robert Bennett Forbes' 1883 Greek Revival-style home. That museum merged with the Peabody Essex Museum in 1984, leaving what is now known as the Captain Forbes House Museum. The Russell family. Samuel Wadsworth Russell started as an orphaned apprentice to a maritime trade merchant, made his initial investment capital on trading commissions while working for other traders, and eventually founded Russell & Co., the most powerful American merchant house in China for most of the second half of the 19th century. He landed in Canton in 1819 and quickly amassed a fortune in the opium trade. His mansion, now known as the Samuel Wadsworth Russell House, still stands in Middletown, Connecticut. Russell's cousin and fellow opium trader William Huntington Russell was a co-founder and funder of Yale University's Skull and Bones Society. The Delano family. Warren Delano Jr., the grandfather of Franklin Delano Roosevelt, was chief of operations for Russell & Co., another Boston trading firm which did big business in the China opium trade in Canton. He first went to China at age 24 and spent a decade dealing dope on the Pearl River before returning to New York as a newly wealthy and very eligible bachelor. He admitted in letters home that opium had an unhappy effect on its users, but argued that its sale was fair, honorable, and legitimate, akin to importing wine and spirits to America. Delano lost his fortune in his Great Panic of 1857, but returned to China and rebuilt it in part by supplying the U.S. military with opium to treat Union soldiers in the Civil War. The Delanos don't like to talk about the opium connection much. As FDR biographer Jeffrey C. Ward noted, quote, "In a family fond of retelling and embellishing even the mildest sort of ancestral adventures, no stories seem to have been handed down concerning Warren Delano's genuinely adventurous career in the opium business." The Perkins family. Thomas Henderson Perkins, a wealthy merchant and Boston Brahmin par excellence, made his bones as a young man trading slaves in Haiti, and then peddled furs to China from the American Northwest before amassing a huge fortune to smuggling Turkish opium into China. So first this guy's fucking selling slaves in Haiti, then he's fucking taking furs out of the U.S. And bringing them to China. Basically, probably was one of the guys who helped destroy a lot of species. And then started smuggling Turkish opium into China. Although he got rich off the trade, he avoided mentioning it, and his official biography written by his son-in-law never mentions the word opium. Perkins assuaged himself through philanthropy, supporting the Boston Athenaeum and the New England Institute for the Blind, which was renamed for him. This is what a lot of these people do, these high-profile criminals. They just donate a lot of money to charity to throw people off the scent. The town of Belmont, Massachusetts is named after the estates of nephew John Perkins Cushing, who was active in the trade himself.
Hey, so what do you think specifically is wrong with this, Billy?
The hard drive on it, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. And where would that even be located? So this is the CPU, right?
Bottom left.
Right here?
Yeah.
I almost want to take it out. There's a cord that's plugged into the hard drive that also just doesn't plug in anywhere.
Doesn't plug in anymore?
Yeah, it's just like not plugged in.
That could even be what's wrong with it.
Yeah. I don't know where it would go or anything.
Different
I can take a look here in a little bit.
The Sackler family, there we go. There we go. These guys, another one of the tribe.
Of the nose tribe?
Very similar to the people we were just reading here. The Sackler family made billions from OxyContin. So these are the modern people of the people we were just reading. The people that made money off of the opiate epidemics of the 1800s and 1700s. These are their descendants, basically. The Sackler family made billions from OxyContin. Why do the top U.S. colleges take money tainted by the opiate crisis? Yale, Columbia, and others accepted donations from the family behind Purdue Pharma, which makes OxyContin, but the universities won't say what they'll do about it. A controversy is enveloping one of America's wealthiest families. It involves the fraught relationship between pharmaceutical companies at the heart of the opioid crisis and the nonprofits they fund. In this case, the company is Purdue Pharma, which is owned by the Sackler family. Their wealth exceeds $13 billion, and over the years the family have been generous patrons of medical research at the nation's leading universities, including Columbia, Cornell, Tufts, and Yale. Purdue Pharma produces the opioid OxyContin. Purdue told doctors the drug had a low addiction rate because it was a time-released medication. Alas, this was not the case. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the death toll from OxyContin and related prescriptions opioids now exceeds 200,000. The federal government estimates that 2.4 million Americans currently suffer from opioid addiction disorders. 200,000. So, well, I guess we're even Jews, so. Purdue Pharma pleaded guilty in 2006 in federal court to marketing OxyContin with the intent to defraud or mislead. At the time, the company paid a $600 million fine, widely seen as a slap on the wrist. Well, executives paid additional fines of $34.5 million. Over the years, some of America's leading universities have accepted large sums of money from the Sacklers for science research, and the Sacklers' name is prominently attached to their institutions. So in light of recent revelations about the origins of the Sackler wealth, will these universities attempt to somehow hold the Sacklers to account? For now, they're not saying. 4 universities contacted declined requests for an interview. Quote, "We will not be able to offer anyone for an interview," said Weill Cornell Medicine, home of the Raymond and Beverly Sackler Center for Biomedical and Physical Sciences. Quote, "At this time we do not have any comment," replied Tufts University, which is home to the Sackler School of Graduate Biomedical Sciences. Questions to Columbia University about its Sackler Institute for Developmental Psychology went unanswered. Who are the Sacklers? Part of the challenge is that these universities not only received money from a family that made its fortune producing opioids, but that they have also emblazoned the Sackler name on their schools, institutes, or professorships. Quote, if public attitudes about these Sacklers change dramatically, then the reputation of the university could be hostage to the attitudes about these Sacklers, end quote, cautioned Stanford ethics professor Rob Reich. Quote, that's a risk that a university has to be willing to face and possibly take action about. No single donor's philanthropy is as valuable as the legacy and reputation of a university or a nonprofit, end quote. Among the universities contacted, the one that did respond was Yale, which has a professorship funded by the Sacklers at its cancer center, and which is also home to the Raymond and Beverly Sackler Institute for Biological, Physical, and Engineering Sciences. While Yale would not agree to an interview, nor would it answer specific questions about its decision to accept Sackler funds, it did provide a written statement which said in part, quote, the Sackler family has provided generous gifts to support research at Yale in service of our mission to improve the world today and for future generations, end quote.
Wow.
Totally not taking it, like, there's a fucking, what's it called? There's a...
Like, what a shitty misdirection.
Yeah, there's an implication that if you're giving somebody money, you know, you might do something for them, right? You're doing something that they agree with. If somebody bad is giving you money, then that just says something about what you're doing, I think. At the same time, bad people do try and throw people off the scent by donating to places all the time. But in this case, I mean, the fucking building is named after these people, and they're literally responsible for the deaths of hundreds of thousands of people. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Should find like some white pill thing to end it on.
Okay. Alright, let's see. Oh, white pills, white pills. What good is happening in the world today? There's gotta be something good happening somewhere. Okay, now there's a great band that I found recently. This guy's pretty fucking great. No. This guy, man. Give this guy a listen. He's fucking great. Buy his albums. Totally awesome, man. Put that on there, and white pills. What are some white pills? Not really much looking up these days, unfortunately. Although that's no reason to look down, of course. But you know, I suppose as far as white pills go, you know, people are redefining their perspectives and their views on the world. We're constantly moving forward. We're really growing. We're not going to stop. We're not going to give up. We're always going to keep persevering until we reach the apex, reach our goal. And there's no turning back. There's no going back. Literally, what's in life
will conquer the stars.
Yeah, exactly. We have to reach the stars and colonize new planets at some point. So we have to survive until we get there, essentially.
Probably do a stream tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
Maybe on Owen Benjamin.
Hell no.
Quite a bit of stuff on it.
Brendan O'Connell always cheers me up. Oh, whoa. Oh, he's back up on YouTube. No way. Hell yeah, dude. Sick. 3 days ago. Haha. Dude. Wow. Brendan O'Connell's back, everybody. Holy shit. That's awesome. That's a fucking white pill right there. Wow.
eyes of for attainment or world supremacy within the next 5 years. Francis, you've been doing some work on this? Yeah, thank you, Rach. I think play is realistic unless we can slash the Roman Empire within the next 12 months. Right, now, eyes of for attainment or world supremacy within the next 5 years. Francis, you've been doing some work on this? Yeah, thank you, Rach.
Well, quite frankly, siblings,
I think play is optimistic unless we can slash the Roman
Roman
Empire
Empire
within the next 12 months.
12 months, yeah, 12 months.
And
And let's face it,
as
as empires go, this is a big one.
So we've got to get up our asses and stop just talking about it. I agree. Action that counts, not words. We need action now. You're right. We sit around here all day talking passing resolutions, making clever speeches, scholarship. One Roman soldier. So let's just stop gabbing on about it. It's completely pointless and it's getting us nowhere. I agree. This is a complete waste of time. What? Right. This calls for immediate discussion. Immediate. Right. New motion. Complete new motion. That there be immediate action. One proposal. Take on this. Take on in light of fresh information from civic students.
Oh yeah! This is a perfect fucking... I totally forgot. The shirts came in. Oh, sick, man. Check it out. Show it on stream. Oh, it's never an accident. Oh my god. That's fucking awesome.
Until the infrastructure is in place. That's the kind of Christian Bible system.
Hell yeah, thanks man. Yeah, no problem.
If that was possible.
So the goodies they offer are going to have to be good, and they are. I don't know about you, but those all-electric, non-smog smart cities look damn good. So, strategically, all I just described in part 1 is the 1967 Parity think tank document, The Report from Iron Mountain. Wikipedia gives a simple enough quote. The heavily footnoted report concluded that peace was not in the interest of a stable society. That even if lasting peace could be achieved, it would almost certainly not be in the best interest of society to achieve it. War was a part of the economy. Therefore, it was necessary to conceive a state of war for a stable economy.
They really just lay it all out for us.
Yeah, it's just hidden among, oceans of bullshit.
War served the vital function of diverting collective aggression. They recommended, quote,
diverting collective aggression. Towards whom? Wow. Blood price. Blood sacrifice to destroy. Blood for the blood god. Blood for Moloch. We need those 4 skins.
The reintroduction of a euphemized form of slavery consistent with modern technology and political processes.
And the other piece plugs into the hard drive. It almost looks like they're getting their genes masses.
The threat of, quote, gross...
I'm not sure. I'll take a look here for a second.
How dare you!
Remember, this report was released in 1967.
Fucking Brennan O'Connell's back, bitches.
Very interesting year.
And it's like I'm reading a report from today. Even down to computers and complex algorithms to predict human behavior. So this report is real, but portrayed as fiction. Sometimes the only way to tell the truth in the national security state is through fiction. Ask Intelligence Insider Richard Thiem in his exact lecture of the same name.
The only way to tell the truth is through fiction. Where did that come from? Alright, it is. No wonder how complicated things get with one thing leading to another, said E.B. White, and he wasn't kidding.
So that's the big picture swirling around us all. Well, what about tactical, up close and personal, day to day? That's a different story. And with so many of their employees misbehaving, for instance, Adolf Hitler, Joseph Stalin, and Saddam Hussein come to mind, the question is, can the City of London East India Trading Company keep their employees under control? At least until the robots.
god, dude. Hell yeah. Sick, man. That's awesome. Well, I guess should we sign off? Or should we keep going a little bit? Should we do
it has been like a 3 or 4 hour stream now.
3 or 4 hours. Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. We're pretty fucking good. All right. Well, I also had this saved up, but we can get into this some other time. Just the Brendan O'Connell appeal, court appeal, Supreme Court of Western Australia. For anybody who didn't know, he went through the fucking ringer. He had the biggest hate speech trial in history. And went through it in Western Australia. Spent 3 years in prison. Got beat up, tortured, his arm broken, all sorts of crazy stuff. Just because he insulted 2 Jews at a rally, at a pro-Palestinian or anti-Zionist rally, rather. Yeah. Anyway, pretty cool shit. Might want to check this out. Very, very juicy
have to go into
nuggets.
it more tomorrow.
Yeah, fucking juicy
Start
nuggets
off
here.
with it.
Look at this. Look at this shirt right here. This nice IDF shirt, Israeli Defense Force shirt. What is that depicting right there? One shot, 2 kills. What could that mean? IDF soldiers, Israelis glorifying killing pregnant mothers. That's pretty classy. Pretty classy, I gotta say. They are the classiest people. Everybody knows the Jews are the classiest of the classy. So I think with that we should probably wrap it up then.
I love Jews.
I love Israel. I love Jews.